Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my YouTube channel. Today we have my mother, me. This is Donna. She was in Van Halen's Hot for Teacher, and she's a beauty expert. She's the reason why I know how to paint on my eyebrows so well, and she's the reason why I take such good care of my skin. So today I wanted to kind of chat with her. Maybe she has some insight for you because she had a lot for me. So thanks for being on the channel.
Anytime. So proud to be the mom.
Not like you had a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what would be like your top 3 beauty, top beauty tips?
Well, you say you learned things from me, but actually I've learned more from you. So my top one that I learned from you and Delaney is drinking a lot of water. Like I notice, I force myself, no, I don't love to drink water, but I am drinking a lot more now, and I can really notice a difference on my skin the more I drink.
Okay, love.
Water.
What would be the 2? Wait, because you used to tell me that you sat in the sun with like a thing and then
terrible, terrible.
And then you learned it was bad.
Yeah, well, everybody in my generation didn't know, and now we're paying for it with things that are coming up on your skin 20, 30 years later, and it's terrible. So it's just a constant catch up.
Which is why I always say sunscreen, sunscreen, sunscreen.
Yeah,
sunscreen.
Yeah, sunscreen constantly, body, face, everything.
Okay, and then tell us what's your 3rd?
Serums.
Oh.
Yes, that is made such a difference on my skin. You put it on underneath your moisturizer even, and it's there's a vitamin C. I love SkinCeuticals, and what's that other one? The hyaluronic.
The hyaluronic from
it's SkinCeuticals.
Oh yeah, SkinCeuticals.
Yeah,
HA intensifier.
I layer them both in the morning and one at night, and it's made a huge difference.
Okay, love those tips. Tell us your favorite treatment. Like what has been like a laser or some kind of treatment that you can't live without?
Microneedling.
Oh.
I try and do it once a month. And
okay, so your top treatments are microneedling, and then what's the other one?
Well, I tried the PRP once, and it's microneedling with the PRP where they draw blood and they spin it, and anyway, I think it helped, but it's so hard to say because I try and do the PRP once a month, which sounds like a lot, but it's just making a huge difference.
Someone's got money.
Well, I like, honestly, it's I'm scared to do laser because it hurts. I'm not good with pain, and I just think this helps you produce collagen, and by the end of the month, you can just see the huge difference it has made.
And to give you guys a reference, my mom will be 60 this year, and she looks like that. So that does play a huge role. And essentially what PRP is they draw blood from your own body, they spin it, and they get the plasma, I think.
And so when it goes on they call it liquid gold because they take the red out, and you're just left with the gold clear fluid, and then they put that on where the holes were punctured from the microneedling.
Sounds worse than it is.
Yeah, it's not. It just makes you. They told me it'll help you recover quicker.
Right, and then exactly. So, and different clinics use different methods. So sometimes people do Venus Viva, which is a type of laser, but it also makes little micro holes. Some clinics do microneedling, which is the kind of the handheld one that you can buy yourself, and it just rolls on. And then some people do the derma pen, which is essentially the same thing. It's the little needles, but it's electric, and it kind of makes little holes.
Yeah, that's what I use, the derma pen, yeah.
Not a lot of clinics use the roller anymore just because the derma pen's a lot faster and it goes in a lot deeper. So, and then they put the blood on top of you, which sounds terrible.
It sounds gross, but it's
I know. And Kim Kardashian, it's what Kim Kardashian does, the vampire facial. If you've heard of that, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you've noticed the biggest difference.
Yes.
And then how long do you think, at what age did you start kind of taking it seriously? And then at what age do you think you were like, oh, what I'm doing is actually helping me?
I started taking it seriously around 40 and didn't do as much as I do now because the progression of what they've discovered in the last 10, 20 years is amazing. There's something new all the time, and it's just constantly keeping up with I read a lot about what's the latest thing to try, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I think in the last 5 years I've done more.
and you notice in the last 5 years the biggest difference?
Yes, huge difference.
Okay, and then what are your, that's just interesting because I started around 23, which is crazy, but I worked for a clinic that did Botox when I was like 16, so I got exposed to it and then I got fascinated by it. And then I started, I think I started using retinols at 23, which worries me now because I think, oh, is my skin going to become so immune by the time I'm 40, I'm going to need like a...
No, I think it's going to be an incredible result that by the time you're my age, you won't have the skin damage, the sun damage for sure, and you'll have kept up the, what am I trying to say?
Like the routine?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. And I think that's something, like, we went to Costa Rica. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, @AliciaSander. And I wore sunscreen all over my hands and my neck, and I got a huge hat that covered my face. And I think when you are, you know, young and you're traveling and it's fun and you want to be tanned when you come home because tanning makes you look so skinny that it's great, but you'll regret it. And the first signs of aging is always your hands and your neck and your chest age you very rapidly.
Very much. I'm just starting to do IPL on my neck and my hands because I have age spots on my hands, and I can't believe, like in one treatment, in a week later, they're pretty much gone.
And it's kind of telltale. Like, you know, you can do so much to your face now, but not a lot of people do that to their hands. No. And you can tell.
Right. And I learned from you and Delaney that before I go on vacation, I spray tan. That way I show up tanned, and I fade as the vacation goes on because I don't sit in the sun. But you get to look like you're tanned and look like you're on vacation, but you have no sun damage because you're not sitting in the sun.
That's actually another great tip, is spray tans. I live and die by them. I used to work for Saint Tropez, and I would educate all over BC on self-tanning. Like a doctor, we're the same. But it's amazing. It's Saint Tropez is a really good brand as well, but you can get the color you're looking for. It lasts for about 5 days. You can do it yourself. You just have to practice, and as you get better at it, I do it every 5 days, so I'm kind of never not tanned.
Do you go to a booth or do you do it yourself?
I do it myself because you can do the spray, and then I stand in the shower and I just kind of spray it everywhere.
Do you still use Saint Tropez?
Yeah. Oh. I spray it everywhere, and then I do the 3-hour tan, so you rinse in 3 hours.
See, I learned so much from her. I'm constantly calling her asking, okay, what about this? What about this? Have you read about that?
But that's kind of the infamous story. So my mom, because she won't tell you herself, was a very, very big model. She lived in LA for years. That's her claim to fame. She was the teacher in the Hot for Teacher video. But she knew so much about beauty and fashion and makeup and skin because she was in that world. So when my sister and I started competitively dancing around age 11, I would have been 11, Dell was 14. No,
12, 13.
13. Yeah. She's so much older than me. I'm so young. But when we started doing that, my mom, you know, you would go in these competitions and you would do your makeup. So my mom said to Delaney and I, like, I'll just teach you how to do it so you don't have to rely on me, vis-a-vis the eyebrows, because she taught me how to fill in my eyebrows when I was about 11 or 12 so that I could compete. And then I've just been trying different products and things for...
and you both became makeup artists at one point. I was a makeup artist for a while.
Yeah, and she was a makeup artist for Bobbi Brown. And so it's kind of all been in the family. So it's interesting because I think a lot of questions I get on here and on Instagram are people that maybe didn't get exposed to it at a certain point, and you kind of don't really get into it until your late 20s and you start thinking, oh, I have fine lines, I should do something about them. Right. And there's so much you can do. I think a lot of times people think it's like too late, or, you know, or it's too early, and it's not too early. Retinol, you're never too early for retinol. That should, it's my next blog post. It's never too early for wine or retinol. Don't listen to anyone. What is your other, like, give us some of your other tips. Oh, another thing you need to know about her is about 2 years ago, she got really into fitness and changed her entire body. If she lets me, I'll post some before and afters, but who knows, she might not. But what has been like a big lesson in that? What has that taught you, and like where did you start like how did that start to one day you were just like, I gotta change my whole body, and then what changed?
I'll take you back a lot of years, and I was in the Miss Canada pageant, and my speech was about fitness and how it clears your mind, and if you're fit and you work out and you feel so healthy body-wise and mind-wise. And I still feel that way, and I've worked out my whole life, but recently, like just before 2 years ago, lost weight, not on purpose, just as I got older, that's my body type, and I was starting to look like a little old lady, and some people were pointing it out. And so I found a trainer, and she gave me hell, and I put on about 12 pounds so far, and done it slowly so that I could put it on in muscle, and I've started eating completely different, and a lot more protein and carbs and all the good things, and I just feel more energy. I feel like I look better, my face is fuller, and I don't know what age group your audience is at, but
either.
when you get older, you lose that volume out of your face, and you can't afford to lose the weight. So as you get older, you should not be as thin as you once were and hold on to that 21-year-old body, but be heavier, because it just looks better all over, and then you don't have that aging premature look. Yeah. And
I think that's interesting too for even, you know, my age demographic, is that I think everything's so circled around like lose weight, when in reality there's a lot of other things it can do to your health when you gain and lose really rapidly, or you go on crash diets. It wrecks your metabolism, and then when you get older, that can be really hard to recoup. So kind of staying at a level, like a steady pace and a steady level, and make sure you're eating well, and you're eating for your skin, and you're eating for your hair, and you're not just eating to be skinny, is so important, because just like the skin stuff, that comes back around later in life. So you have to kind of keep it on one steady pace, and then it's easy to maintain.
Yeah.
So that's really important. That's cool. Is there any other things you want to share?
Yeah, that was kind of out of nowhere.
No, I liked it. Tell us more about you. Do you have any other health, fitness, skin, or like wellness tips? Whether that's like mind, body, skin, food, anything you've learned now at this age that you wish you had known at my age?
Oh, so much. And I learned a lot from you, actually.
Thanks.
Lisha's very into holistic medicine and natural organic eating and meditation and yoga. And I can't do yoga, it's too boring. But but I have started to meditate, or I've started reading a book that has really famous people who are spiritual, and the main things that they like to say. And sometimes if I get high anxiety and I get upset and my mind spirals, I just sit down and I read that book, and I sit outside, and it just helps me calm down. And you just need that in your life. With all the social media and life and pressure and stress, you need something that levels you again.
And I think that's cool, because it's different for everybody. I think people get really caught up in like, someone said they do yoga, so I should do yoga, but it's really different. Like my sister says that going for a long drive is like meditative for her, and she meditates now kind of more traditionally, but for a while she was, you know, she felt like, well, that feels relaxing to me. But that's great. If you find one thing that kind of zones your mind out, just stick with that. It doesn't have to be traditional in any way.
Right. I was talking to her about that, and said that my meditation is when I work out. I have really loud music on my headphones, and I don't think about anything else. Everything else is gone for that hour. Yeah, I like that.
Well, there you go. 2 generations, health and wellness tips. If you have questions, comment. Thanks for being on the channel.
Oh, anytime.
She's the sweetest. So if you have any questions, yeah, there's so much more I would ask her. Maybe I'll put it in a blog post for you. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. My mom's handle is at Donna Morrison 008 if you want to follow her. I will tag her as well. And yeah, we will see you soon. Bye.